Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and what do you know, I'm finally back with a new video, and today's video is going to be a horror review video. So the film I'm going to make a review of today is the film called Zombie 5, Killing Birds. I'm not really sure as to what this is referred to in some other like countries, because I mean this whole zombie like series is really strange, because the original Zombie was actually Zombie 2, because in Italy the first like the original Dawn of the Dead was deemed as just named Zombie, and then Lucio Fulci made Zombie 2 and then Zombie 3 and then Zombie 4. So the whole numbering stuff is just really strange, but this is the one with Robert Vaughn, even though that's all a bit misleading. But this film is, I think this is, I mean, it's pretty much like loosely, I mean, it doesn't really have too much to do with the previous films. The only thing that I can, well, I'll get to that eventually. I'm just going to talk about what the film is all about. But this film feels like, I mean, it's an Italian production, but it feels very American in a sort of strange way as well. So it's basically about these students. They're off to go to this house to investigate on like this guy who got rid of. I mean, he got his eyes plucked out by like some birds, and they're out there to investigate this, and they're also like out there to check out like birds and whatnot. Like I think they're doing some sort of like project about this, like a college project or high school project, if you will. Um, and then of course things start to get really strange. So there's like birds attacking, and there's like also of course zombies, hence the title Zombie 5. And then of course they finally, not finally, but they do find like a guy in this car, and he has been killed off. And what do? Instead of like trying to get to the authorities, they go straight to the next house nearby, and it's a really run down building. It looks really bad, and of course for some weird reason they think they would find like a phone in there. But instead of just getting out of there, they're deciding to stay the night because it's like pretty late in the evening. And of course there's stupid things happening, like where uh, people have weird visions and stuff about like zombies and stuff, and then don't really know if the zombies are real or not. Um, and yeah, for some weird reason they decide to stay in this rundown building, basically, when I don't really understand why. But that's it for this storyline. I don't really want to spoil anything else than that. Now, what did I think about the film? Now, the story is a complete mess. I was actually expecting this to be, since the title is Zombie 5 Killing Birds, I for some reason I just thought for myself, well, there's probably not going to be a single bird in the entire film. But I was surprised that they actually had plenty of birds in this film, so that was quite fascinating. Um, Now, the storyline, like I said before, is very muddled. I mean, it doesn't really have a good pace either, because it's kind of slow. Takes a whole lot of time before something really happens. There's lots of people just walking around in this house, just checking out the building. And after a while, you're thinking, well, haven't you checked out all of these rooms already? Because you've been staying here for quite some time now. So that's a little bit boring. And also, I would say that the acting isn't really the greatest either. It's okay for what it is, I would say, but there's also some really strange dialogue going on right here. Like, why would they? Like I said before, the characters are so stupid, so you don't really care too much for them in the end. Um, and Now I'm totally on the whole like negative stuff about the film. So, like I said, the pacing is the biggest problem, and the whole fact that they have Robert Vaughn's name on the front cover right there is just extremely misleading, because he's a very minor character in this entire film. But then again, he's the most famous person they got a hold of for this film, so that's the reason why they had to slap his name on the front cover. Now, what else can I say about the film? I would say, I mean, as for the positives, though, I think I mean, there's not really too many positive things I have to say about this film, in all honesty, but I do like some of the fog machines going on, like the fog creating some sort of atmosphere. I do really like some of the score to this one as well. And the blood and gore effects are actually pretty impressive and pretty cool for what they are, but you have to wait for such a long time before something really starts happening, and you're stuck with these characters that you don't really care about at all. So like the storyline and the structure and the characters are really the weakest point about this entire film, which is a little bit unfortunate. Definitely, probably the weakest one in the entire series, if you ask me. So for some weird reason, also it feels like the same building. I'm not. This is just my total guess. I could be totally wrong about this, but this rundown building looks very similar to the building they had in Zombie 4. So I'm not really sure if that's supposed to be like a reference to that film, or if they just thought for themselves, well, let's just make both of these films simultaneously and just call the other one Zombie 4 and then Zombie 5 just to save some money for the production value or whatever. So that could be the issue. I'm not really sure. But I mean, overall, unless you're a die-hard fan of this series, I wouldn't recommend this one. You might as well just watch all the other ones, but just skip this one if unless you're a die-hard fan of this series in general. Like I said, don't really know what else I can say about. I mean, the camera work is good, and the lighting is also pretty good as well. That's something that I completely forgot about. But I mean, it doesn't say too much when your storyline isn't really good and the characters and the acting and the dialogue is bad. That really makes the film really. I mean, that really hurts the film. In all honesty, you can't really deny that. But yeah, Zombie 5, Killing Birds, I'm gonna give a 4 out of 10. So like I said, unless you're a diehard fan of this series, yeah, don't check it out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this particular review. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm not really sure what the next video is going to be all about. Maybe another update video, maybe a ranking video, because I'm planning to make a ranking video of Dario Argento's films. And if I do happen to find all of those films somewhere in the collection, I might as well try to make the John Carpenter ranking list as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes eventually. But hope you enjoyed, and yeah, see you in the next video. So bye bye.